Valheim is my introduction to the survival crafting genre, and after spending a couple hundred hours in the game, one could say I'm totally hooked. And it wasn't even the immersive open world, addictive gameplay loop, and fun boss battles that truly got my attention. No, it was the captivating music. I would sometimes just sit endlessly on my log bench, staring out into the open sea, just to listen to the soundtrack. From the relaxing intermittent melodies of the home base theme, giving you this cozy and light feeling of being safe and at peace. The dark and foreboding low minor chords of Black Forest, where danger can turn up without warning. The gloriously majestic sailing music with its regal use of French horn harmonies, truly giving you an epic sense of adventure. To the massively empty and reverb-heavy mix of the mountain theme. But one track truly shines for me, and it is this track that kept me going back to playing the game. This piece helps calm my mind and put me at a peaceful Zen state, despite being trolled literally dozens of times. I am of course talking about the Meadows theme. And for this video, I'm doing a musical breakdown of what I think makes the Meadows theme from Valheim a great piece. Let's go. In Valheim, you are a lost soul in Norse mythology, passing on to the next afterlife, but you're not quite in Valhalla yet. So you are sent to a sort of purgatory world, Valheim, where you must complete some trials to move on. And the game starts with Odin in the form of a giant raven, dropping you off in a beautiful green meadow. And this is the music that you hear. Beautiful. This vamp is everything. Yes, it all leads to that moment. Phew. Damn, what a masterpiece that was. So when I first heard this piece in the game, I thought it was like a complex meter piece, like 5/4/7/4 mixture. But then I took a look at somebody's third-party transcription of the piece in MuseScore, and oh my god, it totally makes sense. It's actually a slow 6/8 piece with just a ton of syncopated accents. And it all comes down to this repeating line. It's just genius. So this guitar line, this repeating guitar harmony chord pattern is the bread and butter of the piece. It is what gives it its rhythmic pacing and kind of moderate pace. But then, if you listen closely, the accents are everywhere. It's throwing you off, but if you count it with a score, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But oh my god, what a wonderful chord this is. It's a very interesting open style tuning for the guitar, and it really evokes this feeling of a vast expanse, an open field of nostalgia. Literally a meadow theme that gives you the feeling of traipsing in the meadow. And this chord pattern goes on and on for extended periods of the piece, giving you this entrancing feeling because of the repetition. And eventually, like I always say in my previous videos, with the right amount of repetition, music can just sometimes disappear into emotions. What you initially heard as individual notes and as individual chords will just morph into this sound of just pure emotion. And in this situation, this emotion is just something nostalgic, something open-ended, this magical urge to explore into the open. Even the melody, it jumps into places. There's almost like an unpredictability to it, kind of like mimicking how a player would go about exploring into an open world game. There is no general direction on how we play open world games. We see something interesting, oh, we head right there. Oh my god, monster is attacking me. Attack, and then, you see a treasure, and suddenly you forgot what you were initially going to do. And this music, the melody, is kind of like a perfect reflection of that. And oh my god, the feeling of this, the mix of this folk style violin and the range it chose. It just feels so warm and vibrant that the momentary sporadic plucks of the guitar feels like mildew in the morning. And because of the violin's warm embrace of its melody, it feels like the rays of the sun slowly showing itself in the morning. Constantly throughout the piece, especially in this early part, there's this consistent home chord or this consistent harmony that keeps you grounded and centered into one frame of mind. The power of harmony is it can really set the emotional story of the piece. And because of this open sounding chord, but with still a grounded bass line, it sort of sets you into a grounded feeling, but with just enough leeway to just explore and go out and about. And of all the instruments chosen to partner up with that warm-sounding violin line, the composer Patrick Yarlistam chose the clarinet. And the clarinet is considered as one of the warmest-sounding instruments there is in the orchestra. And just because of this built-in warmth, it immediately has this built-in sound of nostalgia and feeling at home. And we're back to the motif. Oh my God. So as you notice, the clarinet is still kind of doing that jumping style of melody. Especially that the unpredictability of nature. Subscribe or not. It's okay. And this is the part where it kind of starts to sound a little bit more like a conventionally composed melody because of that stylized scale up. Again, this far into the piece, almost halfway, and still there's this vague chord pattern, an open feel. It's so good. Back to the chordal motif. Lovely motif. And this is the first time where there's finally a change of chordal tone. And with the introduction of that rolling cymbal to kind of accentuate the change. It feels like a hint of thunder and lightning in the sky to kind of mess up the peaceful morning you're having. And even then, it was just like a momentary change. We're immediately back to the syncopated leitmotif of the original start. But I do think that the artistic monotony is already kind of built in with how the chord is chosen in the beginning, and the composer just wants to mix it up. And that's very valid. Something musically new in the context of the piece happens next. Watch this. There, first appearance of a more traditional chord progression, and it sounds even closer to a regular major chord. Yeah, it's a C major chord with a major second note. That was kind of like one of the rare moments that the piece delved into conventional chord progression. Beautiful melody, oh my God. This kind of unpredictable playing style of the violin, it kind of sounds improvisatory. It might even be improvisatory, or maybe it started as improvisatory, but later on was just written out. Yes, that's where it all comes down to. That finishing flourish. Na, 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 ra, ra, ra. What does that sound like? It sounds like, yes, this is the end of this musical section. Kind of like the last few notes of a chorus or the last few notes of a verse where you know there's this finality characteristic to it. Everything stopped. The chords went back to the root chord and they all paused to take a breath. And let the clarinet say its piece now. Oh my God, that part is some of my favorite ones. Whenever I'm playing and in the Meadows and that part comes in, I can't help but always just jump and hop along with my character to it because it just feels so, yeah, hop and skip and hop and skip. Da da da, da da da, da da da. I'm flying! So many open chords. And here we go again, the signature. That is just a magnificent piece. The first time I heard this piece, I immediately felt nostalgic for nothing, for no reason, simply because of the more somber colors and this open style of harmonies that were chosen in composing this song, not to mention the warmth of the violin and the clarinet mix is just overall adding this emotional feeling of freedom and open exploration, not to mention feelings of warmth and feeling at peace, all combining into this beautiful and unpredictable harmony and melodic masterpiece that is Meadows from Valheim. Thank you for joining me in nerding out over one of my favorite pieces of music from all of video games. The songs I feature are based heavily on your collective voices, so use the comments or the suggestion form in the description. Now here's another video for you to enjoy.